Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about graphing parabolas. So that means graphing quadratic equations, ones with x squared. So to start with, it says identify the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the maximum or minimum, and the range of the parabola. We know the domain is all real numbers, but the range is the one we're interested in. So to start with, these are not going to be in vertex form. These are going to be in standard form, like y equal x squared plus 6x plus 4. So what I did for this is I just graphed it in the calculator and used minimum and then look for symmetry in the table. So minimum, you can see, is menu 6, 2. 6 is analyzed graph. Okay, so let's do that. So we go add graph x squared plus 6x plus 4, enter. Okay, the window was already okay, so I do menu 6 for analyze and then 2 for minimum. And then the lower bound would be the left side, the upper bound would be the right side. And we just round that to -3. So -3, -5. So that's what we get. The minimum or maximum, whichever is appropriate, is the same as the vertex. And then the axis of symmetry is always x equal whatever the x number is. And then the minimum would be the y value of the vertex. For the range, it's from this point up. So the low point is -5, the high part is infinity. So it's y greater than or equal to -5, which is the same as bracket -5, comma, infinity. So on this math Excel, they want you to choose the greater than or equal to sign as well as the -5. The other thing I was going to mention is sometimes you can look for symmetry in the table. So for example, Control T and start seeing where numbers match. Okay, right now they don't, and so I'm going to have to scroll up 4, -1, -4, -5. It's still getting lower and lower. But now I finally see a match to the -4. So that means x equal -2 and x equal -4 are symmetric. And the -3, -5 is the vertex. And then if I go up one more, the -1s match. And so the -5 and -1 line up. Now, what I've mentioned before, but I'll say it again, and sometimes you might not see the vertex in here, because maybe it's at a half or even at a third or whatever. So sometimes you can't really use the table. So sometimes it's better to just use the minimum and work it from there. Okay, the next one, same instructions. You have y equal -x squared minus 6x minus 7. So this time you have a maximum instead of a minimum because a is -1. A is the number in front of x squared. And then just when you graph this, you get -3, 2, so that's that one. That means your axis of symmetry is this, x equal -3. And your maximum is 2, and it's less than or equal to 2. Which means it would have been -infinity, 2 bracket. But in this math Excel, like I mentioned, they're going to want you to choose less than or equal to and the 2. Okay, on the next one, they want you to graph x squared plus 4x plus 9, and so you have your A, B, and C. This time, instead of just getting either the minimum or maximum, they wanted you to start using this formula. This is the formula for the axis of symmetry. I'm just going to say axis of S. So it's x equal negative b over 2a. So basically negative 4 over 2 times 1. And so that gets you negative 2. So your axis of symmetry would be x equal negative 2. So then they recommend sketching that. And then the next thing is they want you to plug that in to here and square it. Plus 4 times negative 2 plus 9. And when you type that in the calculator or work it out, you get 5. What that means is that negative 2, negative 5 is your vertex. Then they also want you to do the y-intercept, which is 0, c, and in this case you use 9. And then they also want you to use the reflection of the y-intercept, which is across from it. And since this is 2 units away, then this is 2 units away. Oops. Okay, so let me just graph it real quick. At negative 2, negative 5, it's here. That's your vertex. And the y-intercept was at 0, positive 9, which is way up here. And so then the reflection would be over here. So if this distance is 2, then this distance is 2 because it's symmetric. So what they want you to do is use a solid curved line for parabolas, and it opens up since a is positive. So you're going to do this, and then they want you to delete the dashed line, x equal negative 2. So then you just take that away. Then there are the same instructions for this one and this one. The next one says write the function in vertex form and identify different attributes of the function. So our function is y equal x squared plus 6x plus 2. So that means our a is 1, our b is 6, and our c is 2. So using the formula, the axis of symmetry is negative b over 2a, so that would be negative 6 over 2 times 1. And so that gets you negative 3. Then they plug it in, so it's negative 3 squared. By the way, make sure you put parentheses around the number before you square it, because then you'll remember that a negative number squared would be positive. So you have that plus 6 times negative 3 plus 2. And so you get negative 7. That means your vertex is negative 3, negative 7. All right, and now this has a equal to 1. So that means the function can now be figured out if we have the vertex. It would just be the 1 in front, so we don't write it, and then x plus 3 squared, because we changed that sign. Because it's inside parentheses, we changed the sign. This means left 3. And then we just write the other part down, which is down 7. It's minus 7. So once you have your function, then you know your axis of symmetry from the vertex. It's x equal negative 3. And since our a was positive 1, it's greater than 0. That means it opens up. Upward means you're going to have a minimum. And the minimum value would be the y value, negative 7. And then your range would be bracket negative 7, comma, infinity. Or y greater than or equal to negative 7. So negative 7 or bigger. So this is kind of like negative 7 less than or equal to y less than or equal to infinity. In another class, you'll see it this way. Okay, the next one says write 5x squared minus 9x plus 16 in vertex form. So this is our first one today that there's a number other than 1 or negative 1. So we got our 5, our negative 9, and our 16. So we start with negative b. This is also the first time we've had a negative b value, I think. So we're having to do a minus a negative 9, so that's positive 9. That over 2 times 5, so you get 9/10. And do keep it in fraction form. Then they want you to say 5 times 9/10 squared minus 9 times 9/10 plus 16. And that I would just type completely in the calculator, and you get 239 over 20. So that means you have 9/10 for x and 239 over 20 for y. So that means your vertex form is 5 times x minus 9/10 squared plus 239 over 20. The next one says a model for a revenue company. Their revenue from selling a software package is R of P equal negative 2.2 P squared plus 880 P. What price will maximize revenue, and then find it. Okay, so they want you to compare this to just A times P squared plus B times P plus C. So they're basically using P instead of X. And then just your A value is negative 2.2 and your B value is 880. And there's no number out here, so your C is 0. Since our A is negative, then the vertex would be the maximum. And the P coordinate of the vertex would be the formula negative B over 2A. So that's minus 880 over 2 times negative 2.2. And when you do that, you get 200. So that means that the X value, which is the price, $200, maximizes the revenue. So they're selling the software for $200. When they do that, then you evaluate it at 200 and plug 200 in, and you get $88,000. So when they sell it for 200, they get $88,000 if they sell all of theirs. So that's what the maximum revenue is, $88,000. Okay, the next one says sketch the parabola using the given info. You're given the vertex is 0, 9, and the point on the graph is negative 2, negative 7. So your axis of symmetry would be x equals 0. Your coordinates of the reflected point are 2, negative 7. Since we're right down the middle, if this is negative 2, then this would be positive 2. And your y value would be the same. And then you just graph it. Okay, the 10th one is 5, 2, 26. This one says, for the function the vertex is given, find the unknown coefficients. So we have y equal x squared plus bx plus c. So a is not unknown. There's no a in front, so it's 1. And then the vertex is negative 6, 8. What you do on this one is plug in everything you know. You know a is 1. You don't know x. We're going to treat this like hk, like we have before. Our h is negative 6, so when you do minus a negative 6, it's positive 6. And then your k is 8. So then you just have x plus 6 squared plus 8. Now the next step is going to require you to do FOIL. If you remember from Algebra 1 or other times. First times first, so x times x is x squared. Outside times outside is x times 6. Inside times inside is also x times 6, or 6 times x. And then last times last is 6 times 6. So you get x squared plus 12x plus 36. So again, this is first times first. This is outside times outside. This is inside times inside. And this is last times last. So what you can hopefully notice is all you do is you say 2 times whatever the number was. So if you're having x plus 6 squared, you just say x squared, and then 2 times 6 is 12, so you have 12x, and then 6 squared is 36. So this is how you can get it. Then you drop your parentheses. Basically, don't forget the plus 8, and then add 36 plus 8 to get 44. So that way you have your formula, and then that means B is 12 and C is 44. Okay, just a couple more. For the function, find the y-intercept. You're given y equal negative 5/7 times x minus 14 squared. So the first thing they wanted you to do is to do FOIL to this. So you basically double 14 and get 28. So you have x squared minus 28x. And then you do negative 14 times negative 14 is positive 196. Then they want you to distribute that out, distribute this out, and then get negative 5/7 x squared plus 20x minus 140. And so right there we know your answer is negative 140. It's 0, negative 140. Now on this one, instead of doing all that work, you could have also just used the table if the calculator is allowed. The main reason why we're showing you this is because sometimes on the SAT there's going to be some problems that you're not allowed to work on the calculator. So that's why we like to show you multiple methods. But if you have a calculator available, you can say negative 5/7 times x minus 14, then go outside of it, say squared. May not look like it did anything, but just do Control T for your table, and then go up to 0, and you get negative 140. So even though the screen is blank, you would have to, just mess around, like menu 4A for zoom fit, then move over to the right and so forth, or zoom out, menu 4, zooming out based on over here. So there you go. Okay, and then the last one is extra practice A. It's just graphing y equal negative 2x squared minus 16x minus 20. So again, just do it like before. Just picking your 3 points that they want you to do on Math Excel, and then connect them with a solid curve. All right, I hope that helps. Have a good day.